What's up, party people? Crazy lawn care nuts. It's a beautiful day, Smithville, Missouri. Tuesday. I'm getting to the end of June here. Figured I'd do a little quick update on my seeding project that I started last Monday. So I started putting down some perennial rye, just using some stuff from grass pad to fill in some holes and to assist me on some areas that I've been leveling. So here's a quick update. Even though it's not the ideal time to be putting down seed, you know, irrigating and using some peat and keeping it moist has helped. So let's do a little quick tour. All right, so let's rock and roll. So this spot in the front's been leveled a few times, a few different applications of top dressing. I have some of that's not sprouted yet, but it's down a little bit deep, so I'm not too worried about it yet. I have a decent amount coming up over here. And this was done a little later. So I started last Monday, but it's taken me a while to work through the yard. This area over here all was a pretty big dip and has been leveled a few times. I'm noticing that we got quite a bit of the perennial rye just now starting to pop up pretty much everywhere in here, which is a good thing. Let's see, I've got a little more over here by this sprinkler head. Planted again a little later, but coming in nice. This area is starting to turn out pretty good. So I've leveled this quite a few times, or a few applications. So it gets, it's sort of washed out over the years in like this area. So this whole area has been a bit low. So I've added a few different applications of some of my topsoil as well as some sand. And we now see that we've got the rye just now starting to pop up in these areas, which is good. There's a bunch coming in right here. And then over here along the edge, which was a challenge because I think a lot of this washed out and I didn't really have much here but dirt. So now that I've got some grass growing, hopefully it will hold that in a bit. This front area has also been a challenge. It was extremely bumpy, and I'm still working on that edge over there. It's a little challenging because it doesn't get as much water. If it doesn't take over there like I want it to, I'm probably going to go through with the scarifier and level out the bumps a bit and then hit the seed so that it's in a little bit deeper into the dirt. Some of that I didn't do anything with except for putting down some sifted topsoil, some peat and some seed. But there are some areas, if you look at my other video, this area up here, right there, was just a big black spot. So it's coming in gangbusters over here. So it's going to fill in nicely. Same with over here, a little bit of a challenge keeping it wet. I've got some popping up over there, and we'll just see if we can bring that back to life. This area again, a little challenging to keep moist. I've got some popping up here. I've got some other areas over here with some seed sprouting. This area as well, leveled multiple times. And just now, it gets a lot of traffic right here. So again, if I don't get anything to take really well over there, I may hit it with the scarifier to actually move some of that dirt around and then try it again. I filled in all along here, so I've got, you know, a lot of the rye popping up as well as a few weeds, which I'm not too worried about right now. The yard's pretty weed free, except for some locations. We've got some new ones popping up. This is slowly working in over here. It's interesting how the rye just pushes that peat moss right on up. So, yeah. But that should fill in nicely, as long as I keep it moist. It's been a little, some of the areas where it gets a little drier here, you know, it's taken longer to come up, but it's still coming up, even in this heat. Same with back here. Starting to fill in pretty good, even though we're probably less than a week out. These areas, I'm sure I did late last week. I didn't hit everything last Monday, so it's been a week, or 8 days is the furthest out for some of these areas, but a few of the other ones were done more recently. This area was really low, so we've got quite a bit of new rye popping up in there. Another quite thin area. This area had been a challenge ever since I put the deck in. I never really fully got grass growing back here, and I didn't really start working on it much till this year, but we have a decent amount. All this is pretty much new grass. So, and this is the one area of the yard, since I had seed planted, that I didn't really hit with the Tenacity Speed Zone combo. So of course, you know, I've got all sorts of random little weeds and stuff going in here that I'll have to hit once the grass gets a bit more mature. Oh, this is new grass, and not the best. There's some little rocks and stuff in there that I'm still working on. You know, I could really use a decent amount more topsoil. This area here is still quite a bit low. Same with over here, where I've got these flags I actually hit yesterday, because it's just been kind of crummy all season so far. So I readjusted the sprinkler heads to hit this area a little better. Hit the whole area with the scarifier to break up some of the mounds and level the dirt a little bit. And then I threw a decent amount of seed and covered it all with peat. And hopefully within a week to 10 days, this area will look a bit better. But this is kind of my little test bed to see how that application style works for this area. Other than that, pretty happy with the lawn. You know, I haven't overseeded for ages, and it's all mowed at 2 inches. But it's nice. So no real chronic issues that I'm worried about. Now the far backs of my other post, my thought is my property line kind of ends back in here, but all that at the far back I can't really hit with sprinklers. I can hit kind of up to the fire pit, but that's about it. So my thoughts were to put in some cherry trees later this season, maybe 3 of them spaced, to one, give a little bit of shade, and so it isn't just so blazing hot in the sun back there, and I think it looked pretty. I'm still on the fence regarding what type of trees to put in. The cherry seems kind of appealing to us because it'd be something we could actually enjoy and the kids could pick and all that. So that's the status, baby. Throw it down with some technology. You know, got to fight this heat with some moisture during the day. I am hitting it with light bits of water at 10 a.m., 1:30, and 5. So I'm not watering overnight. I'm only doing it during the day, with the idea being that, yes, it's wasteful, but it's the time of the day when the grass is most thirsty. So might as well give it a drink. All right, well, we'll be back sometime in the future with another update, maybe some Barenbrug RPR we're putting down. We'll see.